everyone, I'm Mary with Southern Tractor, and today we are comparing our DEUTZ FAHR tractors to John Deere tractors. And I came up with the idea, I wanted us to compare two green tractors. And even if you're not in the tractor business, even if you're not in the eye for a tractor, if you're not looking for one, everyone knows who John Deere is. Not that many people know about DEUTZ FAHR. So I wanted to do a video comparing the two. And I promise y'all, I did not make this video intentionally to make John Deere look bad. I did not do that on purpose. It was just I wanted to compare the two so that, like I just said, everyone knows who John Deere is, so they'll have more of a comparison level to something that they're familiar with. And things just so happen to turn out how they happen. Stick around to see how that comes. So let's get right into it. So today, this is not a DEUTZ FAHR 4080E. The 4080E is a open station, which means it doesn't have a cab on it like this one does. This is actually a 6155. So definitely much bigger than a 4080. This one's huge. I can fit inside the tire, inside this wheel well right here. I can fit in it. This is a huge tractor. But anyway, we're going to compare the DEUTZ FAHR 4080E to the John Deere 5075E. So let's get right into it. So this is just some, I dropped my pen. This is just some small stats that I have. Obviously this is a really tiny dry erase board, so I couldn't fit them all on there. But there are some I want to go off that I'll just read off the sheet right here that I want to get into as well. But let's just break them down. Whenever we're talking about, I got to get this set up real quick. Whenever we're talking about a DEUTZ FAHR, whenever we're talking about horsepower, you get 75 horsepower as compared to 73. And that don't seem like that much, but that little bit might be just what you need, depending on what you're doing. The transmission, DEUTZ FAHR is a synchro shuttle, which is 15 by 15. We're talking about transmission here. Whereas John Deere is 9x3 and a synchro shift. Also, John Deere does have a shuttle shift. DEUTZ FAHR does not offer that. All of theirs are synchro shift in this model. That's what they are. The rear 3-point hitch lift on the back. So if you look on the back, there it is, almost like a triangle. Look at it that way. The weight capacity for the DEUTZ FAHR is 5,500 pounds. For the John Deere, it's 3,192. So you get that much more lift. You're talking about well over 1,000 pounds here. We're jumping from 3 to 5. Woo! There you go. For the hydraulic flow for the DEUTZ FAHR, you get 13.2 GPM, which is gallons per minute. And in the John Deere, you get 11.5. For the base weight, your DEUTZ FAHR is going to weigh 6,600 pounds, whereas your John Deere is going to be 5,919. The fuel tank, they're neck and neck right there. DEUTZ FAHR is 19.8. John Deere is 19. So you have a 19-gallon tank in that model tractor. Remember, we're talking about the 4080E and the 5075E for the John Deere. And the last one I could fit on our little bitty dry erase board here is the differential lock in it. So with a John Deere, it's going to be a foot pedal, and that's how you're going to engage that differential lock. Use some friction there. As for the DEUTZ FAHR, it's going to be a push button. I don't know if any of y'all have seen our video that we did. It was Stuart Phillips came down, and he's the DEUTZ guy. Let me just tell you, if you want to know about one, give him a call. He can tell you all about it. He did a video for us. He went all over the outside. He went on the inside, talked about how everything's color-coded on the inside, which supports the whole push button thing that we have right there. If you haven't seen that video, check it out. Very, very interesting video. But there is some other things I wanted to go over whenever we're talking about comparing the John Deere to a DEUTZ FAHR. Gotta find it on my piece of paper here. And again, I did not intentionally make this video to make John Deere sound bad, and they're not bad. They're they're a very well-known company. They do very good for themselves. You're going to pay more. you're going to pay more for less tractor if you go with a John Deere, and you're going to pay more for parts and maintenance, I can tell you that. But if you want a John Deere, go get one. Some people that's all they buy. That's perfectly fine. But just be aware, there are several tractors. I'm not talking about just DEUTZ FAHR. I'm saying there are several tractors on the market where you can get more for your money. Obviously, I believe DEUTZ is the best one for your money. But again, I've read the stats on it. I've seen the proof. I've read the numbers, so I know that. So stop by the office if you got some questions. Just call and ask. A DEUTZ FAHR 4080E has a engine speed memory, whereas the John Deere does not. We went over that. We went over the transmission. I talked to y'all about the push button and the foot pedal. Also, I wanted to talk about one more thing whenever it comes to transmission. And the DEUTZ FAHR has a 5 synchronized gears, and it also has a 3 range, providing more speed. So you're going to be able to do more work on the farm with that piece of equipment. Whereas the John Deere, you got 3 forward plus 1 rear synchronized gear, 1 reverse synchronized gear. I'm sorry, I misspoke. 3 ranges, so you get fewer speed options with your John Deere as opposed to the DEUTZ FAHR. Had one more big one right here I wanted to talk about too, and this is called your 4-wheel drive front axle. Let's go with that. So for the DEUTZ FAHR, they're made in-house. John Deere's not, and some people get shocked whenever we tell them this, but some people don't know that John Deere is made in China. So their parts are manufactured in China. Their front axles are manufactured in China. That's where they're from. That is where they're made. Google it. It's there. The John Deere has a more limited front differential. I'm trying to decode all this for y'all. And the DEUTZ FAHR doesn't. It has a fully locked front differential with push button control. We talked about that. Also, the DEUTZ FAHR has front brakes. The John Deere does not. It has no front brake. It has no front axle brakes. Operator must manually engage 4-wheel drive to activate the 4-wheel braking. So just think that's another thing you're going to manually have to do. It's not like a push of a button right there. There you go. So there's another thing for that as well. Both of them have independent rear PTO. We talked about the gallons per minute with both of those. We talked about how the 3-point hitch, you get more lift capacity with the DEUTZ FAHR than you do a John Deere. And I mean, like I said, I'm not doing this to talk bad about John Deere. That was not my intention. It's just numbers don't lie. Facts don't lie. And there you are. You're also, not to mention, whenever we were talking about earlier that you have more of a heavier weight with your tractor, that means you can pull that much more. You want it to be heavier so you can pull that heavier equipment. So like we were talking about, the DEUTZ FAHR was 6,600 pounds, and the John Deere was 5,919 pounds. That's how much that one weighed. And just think about the little things before you invest your money. I know that there are several people who are going to do their research, and they're going to figure out, what tractor is the best for my buck. I got the numbers for you if you'd like to come look at it. So if you want to compare it to a Mahindra, I got the numbers for you. If you want to compare it to a John Deere, I got the numbers for you. If you want to compare it to whatever, enter name here. I will give you the numbers. I got the pamphlets right here. I will print it off for you personally. Numbers don't lie. And DEUTZ FAHR, hands down, as we just saw, was definitely the better choice. That was strange. DEUTZ FAHR is hands down is definitely a better choice. But like I said, there are some people who are going to go buy a John Deere just because it's a John Deere. Alright, you do that, you're going to spend more, you're going to have to pay for parts and labor, but that's on you. I always say do what makes you happy. If that's what you want, go ahead. I know several farmers who will only buy John Deere because they've got all John Deere products. They're worried about everything working properly, so they want to keep them matchy-matchy. I get that too. But I just wanted to go over a few points with you guys. If you have any questions, please feel free to give me a phone call, ask to talk to us. We'll go over the numbers with you. We will sit down and personally talk about it if you'd like to. And yeah, so please feel free to reach out to us. Please watch those videos if you're interested in the DEUTZ FAHR. I believe he's talking about a 5080 in there. He might be on this one actually. He might be on the 6155 whenever we're talking about the DEUTZ FAHRs in that video with Stuart Phillips. But go check it out, go see what they're about. And thank you guys so much for watching. God bless you, and come see us.